Well, thanks. Now to a topic that the First Lady knows very well, that subject of twins. Twin births have risen a whopping 70% since 1980. And in fact, these days, 1 in every 32 births is a twin. Well, there are familiar pairs like the Olsen twins, Ashley and Mary-Kate, and advice columnists Ann Landers and Abigail Van Buren. But did you know that Scarlett Johansson, Ashton Kutcher, Isabel Rossellini, Kiefer Sutherland, I think I'm going too fast, there we are, Kiefer Sutherland, Vin Diesel, Jerry Hall, and Mary Lou Henner are all twin siblings. Well, let's not forget our very own Tiki Barber, by the way, and his twin brother, Rondé. And also this morning, we've got the first twins, Jenna and Barbara Bush, who are here with their mom, First Lady Laura Bush, as well as with psychologist Dale Atkins. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
So I guess, I mean, so you're in good company being twins, although sometimes I suppose when you are a twin, you might feel, since there aren't so many of them, you know, like but what would you say, Barbara, has been good about being a twin to Jenna?
It's great to be a twin because you have a partner in everything that you do. We had so much fun growing up. Just whenever we went to new schools, we always knew somebody because we would go together. And every change you make, you have somebody to make it with. So it's very fun.
Well said. So really, there's a deep, deep friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Definitely. I mean, you know, it's very rare that you would share every moment with somebody. Most siblings have a couple years in between them, and we were the exact same age. So when we were 2, we knew exactly what it felt like to go to be 2, and it's really amazing to have. We're extremely lucky, and we have a lot of fun.
Mrs. Bush, why don't you do some interviewing now here?
Exactly. Well, you know, George and I were older parents, and I know that a lot of the people, one of the reasons for a rise in twin births is that there are many older parents. As you age, you are more likely to have fraternal twins like Barbara and Jenna, who obviously are not identical. But I want to see what they think about. What do you think about your sister? Are you different, Jenna? How are you different from Barbara?
Well, we're different in a lot of obvious ways in the way that we look. But one thing, and I'm sure you would agree with this, that my parents did that I think was really great is they raised us to be different and allowed us to be whoever we wanted to be and never compare ourselves. Because if I compared myself to my sister, I don't know how far I would have gotten because she's really brilliant and great at math. And if, as a little kid, if I had always felt bad about myself, then or if my parents had compared us, I don't know how it would have gone. So
but you did such a great job because you speak about each other in such admiring tones, so that the comparison is not rivalrous, it's generous. And you appreciate and you raise children to not only be individuals, but to celebrate their individuality. And it's not easy to do that. You also name them names that are very different.
That's right.
And that also helps for children to understand that they can grow into their own sense of who they are.
That's right, and we never called them the twins.
That's so important.
You know, they never were really that to us. They were always Barbara and Jenna, and we called them by their names.
It's an essential thing to do, and we're so, you know, sometimes we just do it by nature, with the twins, the girls, the boys, and they wonder, well, wait a minute, what about me? Who am I? Especially if children look alike, because they need to be separate, and they need to know that they are unique and valued as they are themselves, and they need to have separate experiences, which I know you did. You fostered individual experiences.
They actually went to separate camps. They went to separate summer camps every summer. They were
3 weeks.
For 3 weeks, they were on their own, and for 3 weeks, George and I were on our own too, which was sort of nice. But I think that really gave them a chance to be separate from each other, and they appreciated each other so much more when they came home from camp after they'd been apart for a while.
And they could develop other friendships
That's right.
and learn that there are other people in the world.
That's right, and they do have those friendships to this day. They're friends that they made at camp, and now, of course, they're all friends. And they're friends with all of these friends.
It's so wonderful, and you raise the issues that what we need to do is socialize our twins so that they understand that, yes, they can be dear friends and devoted to each other, but there are other people in the world, so they learn how to get along with other people. Because sometimes separating twins is very difficult, and if they go to school and they've already separated from their mom and dad, then they separate from their twin, they can feel bereft. So you have to do it in stages. But if you're used to meeting other kids, it's much easier.
And so the culmination of this is not only are you close, but in fact you're, I'm not sure you call her, but your maid of honor, you're the special girl, the woman you want to stand up with you at your wedding is not a friend, it's your sister. It's your twin sister. which is so
Yeah.
lovely and sweet. Barbara, you must have a reaction to this.
I'm so excited.
When she
I mean,
asked
it's
you-
very sweet. I was thrilled when she asked me. I actually knew that they were going to get engaged the day that they did, so I was waiting at work with my cell phone.
Our cell phones didn't work.
And actually, Jenna's fiance went to Barbara first to ask Barbara before he came
Yes,
to
it was
ask
very
the
sweet.
president and me.
Oh,
I mean, to ask
we've
her-
already told him that on every Christmas Eve I still plan to sleep with Barbara. I'm not sure how he feels about this, but that's in negotiation.
We can discuss.
The sensitivity to be aware of the closeness.
Yeah.
It was very sweet.
When you bring someone into a twin relationship, you really have to be conscious of that. I also want to mention that you said that you had time by yourself with your husband. So often raising twins can be really overwhelming, and you're focused so much on the twins that you have a tendency sometimes to forget about the relationship. And it's very important to keep that relationship alive and vibrant.
And one thing that we did when we were raising them is we had a really pretty strict schedule, which worked out the best with two babies. We put them to bed at the same time. They got up at the same time. We ate dinner early, fed them early, and then put them to bed so we could have the rest of the evening.
wonderful.
And
it's
we
made
slept
it a
in the
lot
same
easier.
room, so when we first learned how to get out of the cribs, I learned how to get out of my crib, and then I'd help Barbara. And then
Partner in crime.
Yes, we were. And then we'd run in and wake my parents up.
You know, you talk about sleeping in the same crib, and I just want to mention that with twins, very often, we talk about in psychology a transitional object or a security object. And instead of having a security blanket or a little teddy, some twins have each other. And they really look to each other for the soothing and the comforting when their parents aren't there. And it can really be a very lovely and wonderful bond.
And as they age, as they grow into more and more adult women, and as they become older women, would seem that this bond would be so useful to them. Would you agree with that? Or how-
Absolutely. Because as Jenna and Barbara mentioned, you know, they feel so connected, and yet they still have other lives separate from each other, but they can rely on each other. They know that they're there for each other. You know, I guess I've never done this, but when you share a womb with someone, and you hear your, and I don't mean room, a womb, and you hear your mother's heartbeat and you hear your sibling's heartbeat, there's a connection there that can last forever. And as long as you're nurtured to be respectful and to really love the other person, this can really manage. It can help you manage life, everything that comes along, and really keep you and bring you full circle with everything that you need in life.
So great advice then, and basically for all parents of twins, to really allow yourself to nurture this lifelong closeness.
And let them be individuals.
Oh, yes.
They did call themselves the womb mates.
Oh, gosh.
Dr. Dale Atkins and also Mrs. Bush and Jenna and Barbara, thank you so much.
Thank
We
you
really
so